Hey, good morning. So we are again on the lean hogs chart. This is just it's what I trade a lot. Uh, so this is the hour time frame. So what that means is each candlestick represents 1 hour. And if you look at it from the daily perspective, it looks like it's going to push up, a lot higher. This candlestick had a lot of bullish strength. But this area right here, this zone, is an area of a lot of resistance. We can see it tested here. This is a excuse me. We can see the resistance here, right here, and over here where the market got choppy from the daily time frame. If you look at it from the hourly perspective, it's a little easier to see the resistance there. Um, and of course, I'm really going to be looking to take short trades on this, but we'll see. Whatever I do will be dictated by price action, just how the action's moving and what the trend is, and if it reacts off a resistance or support level. So yeah. Okay, it's the 1 minute time frame. The market opened up 5 minutes ago, and we can see that after a little noise here, it pushed up strongly, but then it pushed down just as strongly. And I was actually thinking of entering a short position here, but it seemed too choppy. Like there was no really clearly defined pattern. Eventually, like as we can see, the price would have been moved in my favor, and I would have probably claimed a couple ticks, but it's fine. I didn't line up quite how I wanted it to. So we'll just keep watching and wait for it. Okay, so as we can see, the market is continuing to push out even further. Uh, I, I'm still a little wary and skeptical of entering a short position. I'm anticipating the market to push down to about these levels, so where this black line is, potentially even to push further down. But what I'm actually anticipating is the market will push down to these levels, and then it'll hit some resistance. I'm sorry, it'll hit some support, and then it'll push back up to whatever level, and then begin to push down again. So my plan is actually to take a short position when it begins to push down again. Uh, this is losing some strength, as we can see. Mm, yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna wait for it to move up. I don't want to take the buy position though when it moves up, just because I don't trade both sides. It's a little bit more difficult to do it that way, and honestly, I'm just not as experienced. So okay, so market pushed down even further and bounced back up a little bit, and it's probably gonna push down even further. Honestly, I'm seeing potential trades, but I'm just not taking them because they don't seem to line up with how I would want the chart to set up. Also, the wild movements of lean hogs ended very quickly, unexpectedly today. Usually it'll take up the first 5 to 10 minutes, but after the first just 2 or 3 candlesticks, it kind of moved more consistently, which is pretty quick for lean hogs. If we look at the 5 minute time frame, we can kind of see a better idea of what I was looking at. Top, 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 and I'm looking to get that short trade in. So if I was better at this, um, I would have looked at the 5 minute time frame a little bit sooner, I think, actually, and entered that trade anyway, with obviously the take profits at just a little bit above um, these support levels. At that point, I think the trade's mostly gone, but yeah, there's no point in entering this now. When it actually pushed back up a little bit, I was looking for a chance to enter, but this candlestick formed much too quickly. So I'm really just going to have to wait for the market to push back up again, and then hopefully to push back down, and I'll be looking to take the trade when it pushes back down. Uh, looking at how the market's lining up now, though, that could take possibly another 20 minutes. So a lot of patience needed. I will probably only be taking one trade today because this trade opportunity right here was missed. I'm not too unhappy that I missed it because it didn't line up, I guess, with my expectations. So since it didn't, I just kind of watched it happen. If I was to enter it, at this candlestick right here is where I had initially thought about entering, just because of the way this was red, and this turned out red. So I would have either entered in this one or this one. But I just kind of let it happen because I was thinking that this could be just a little bit of a pullback before it pushed back up. But I guess we'll see what happens next 15-20 minutes. Okay, this one might be a little bit tough because I'm not too certain where the resistance level is going to be at. I was really looking at like this resistance level because this little area right here. So I was looking for it to come up to about here when it pushed back up. But now I'm really not sure. It might trade in a different way. So I guess really all that's going to have to do is that I'm just going to have to watch. So yeah, we can see that push up that I was talking about happened here. It didn't push even further down. Ended up about here and it's pushing back up, but we don't know when it's going to stop. It could stop right now and reverse, in which case I would have completely missed the trade, and there's probably nothing I can do about it. For example, if this candlestick ends red, then that kind of signals a bearish pattern, meaning price is more likely to go down, but I would be apprehensive about taking it just because of the area that it occurred in, and I wouldn't know when that price would reverse down here. Oops. All right, so I think this is the area where prices turned. But as you can see, price moved pretty quickly, and I usually go off of 2 candlesticks. So I could enter a short trade here, but I take profit in this region. I'm still unsure as of right now, and of course, as I'm unsure, price will move, making the time that I am sure make me unable to take the trade, because if I also take profits, I will take profits at 1, 2, 3, probably around here for like 3 ticks. Yeah. So this is really unsure. This might be the very first day that I actually do not enter the market at all. We'll see. Okay, so as we can see, the market was really weird and moved very incrementally. So pushed up, right, and overall kind of went down. But there really wasn't any opportunity for me to get in how I would have liked to. I was thinking of going short during one of these candles, just because that would have kind of meshed with the 5-minute time frame. So I think it would have been during this one, but I didn't. I would have profited if I had, but it just didn't line up with my expectations and how I wanted to take the trade based off of the candlesticks. So for the rest of at least the morning, I don't think anything in particular is going to happen, at least the way I want it to happen. Because again, I wanted this to I thought this would push up a little bit faster than it did, and I thought it would. It got pretty close up here. It gets around these levels, and then even the push down wasn't that consistent. For example, here I was considering taking a sell trade, and obviously we can see that it reversed a little bit. Now, for most people, that little bit isn't very much. It's only a few ticks, but my stop would have probably been about 3 or 4 ticks, and I would have definitely gotten stopped out, which is obviously the huge disadvantage of trading with a really small account size like mine. Even when you have like $10,000, people sometimes advise against trading futures, and I can definitely see why, because getting stopped out is not fun, even though your overall thinking, the way you thought about the market was correct, and you just are unable to execute the trade because of lack of funding. So for example, if I had taken a short side here and set the stop, maybe above here, and set my profit around here, I would have profited. But anyway, that's all hindsight. Oh, yeah, I think I might call it a day, honestly. This is the first day without me actually placing a trade and just watching the market for the entire day. So, well, at least for the entire 45 minutes. I expected one. No, not gonna touch it. Just gonna call it a day. This is really the only trade I missed, and I'm not particularly sad about it or anything like that, just because usually the lean hogs market does not move as cleanly as it did here, though this set up very nicely. So I am disappointed I didn't enter it because I was thinking about it at the time, but it didn't fit how I was expecting the market to move. And then of course this part did not move quite as how I wanted it. And of course these are all 1 minute candlesticks, by the way. But I'm gonna call it a day. First day traded without actually executing the trade.